Thanks for joining us. I'm Hallie Jones. We begin tonight shining a light on one of the largest race riots, an event nearly erased from Texas history. More than a century ago, after slaves were freed, they settled in Millican, Texas to start a new life and in some cases find their loved ones who had been sold as slaves in other cities. I spoke to an A&M professor that is working to uncover our history. 15 miles south of Texas A&M University on the southern edge of Brazos County is Millican, Texas. Current population 241. But 153 years ago, during the Reconstruction era following the end of the Civil War, Millican was the place to be in Brazos County.
So in 1868, Millican would have been the big town in this area. Because the end of the railroad pre-Civil War was in Millican. A very large percentage of Black freedmen and women were living there.
The large number of newly freed African Americans who had the right to bear arms, combined with the loss of voting rights for white Texans, signaled a dramatic shift in power. In July of 1868, a shift toward equality for Blacks incited one of the largest race riots in Texas, known today as the Millican Massacre.
We are not sure. It went on for several days. We don't have firm numbers. Newspapers around the world reported from 500 to 300 people murdered. They all make clear that no white people were killed. There were only Black people. The newspapers are pretty consistent on that. So I've also read a report by the governor of Texas, former Governor Pease, and he also reports on it and says the same thing, that it was a massacre of Black freedmen.
The Millican Massacre was reported worldwide in newspapers from Panama to Europe. And it's the public record in print and oral histories from Brazos Valley families that have helped fill in the holes to what happened in Millican 153 years ago.
It's something that's very uncomfortable to talk about. And one of the reasons why it's important, because you don't ever want it to happen again. And then, we don't want violence. Violence is not something that, Dr. Martin Luther King was all about. He was about, love and, hey, we can work together, we can respect each other. So you don't want it to happen again, and that's why you want to study it and you want to know about it.
The Millican Massacre has for decades been the secret left out of Brazos Valley history. Earhart hopes a Texas historical marker will soon mark the location of the massacre as she continues her work on the Millican project.
Filed an application for a Texas historical marker to commemorate George Brooks and those who were murdered, and we should hear final approval. We're hoping by February. We've done the wording. It's gone through all the process. We're just waiting on final, yes, we like the wording. We're going to send it off to the foundry. So I'm excited that there will be a marker that people will see and know about this important event, because it's kind of been erased.